listening to the Talkin Dads podcast, brought to you by You Suggested. If you'd like to support us, please visit our Patreon page, www.patreon.com/Talkin Dads.
Howdy, folks. We're back again for Earl's Corner, the occasional solo show where I talk about things that are just on my mind. Specifically, in this case, I guess, about parenting and things involving fatherhood. And lately I've been pondering the idea of needs and wants and the myth of the super parent and everything that kind of goes in with that. It's a weird thing when you become a parent because it's true. One of the things that they always tell you is that your world really does change. Now you're responsible for this thing that cannot defend itself, cannot feed itself, cannot even express its own needs for a significant portion of time. It can't communicate beyond simple, binary crying or not crying to let you know that it needs something. It's either the baby's either on or the baby's off. It's very much a light switch of needs. And so as parents, it inspires or I want to say instows, but I'm not even sure if that's a real word. Is instow a real word? It instills. That's the word I'm looking for. It instills within us this immense weight, this sense of responsibility. I read a novel once where a character said that duty is both heavier than a mountain and lighter than a feather. You can't actually hold on to duty, but that feeling that it weighs on you just is there constantly. It's a crushing on your back and chest that you're always aware of. And that's the reality of being a parent. The fact that you're responsible for this other creature from now on. And I got news for you. That never goes away. Even when they're off onto their own out into the world, you will still wake up in the middle of the night full of fear for them. And I know this because some of my children are out in the world, and through conversations with my father and other parents, that unfortunately, you just have to trust that they're going to live their own lives. But one of the things that exists because of that responsibility is the tendency to overdo it. The proverbial, there exists the proverbials, the helicopter parent or the super mom or super dad, that person that you see in magazines or on TV or even in real life. Every now and then you meet one in real life. Somebody just has all of their shit together. They never miss an appointment. They got everything scheduled. You go into their house, they have the poster board of chores, and the dishes are always done, and their kids are passing all their classes, and all their bills are paid, and they never, it's just thinking about it gives me anxiety. And I'm an experienced parent. I can't even imagine what that does to a new parent. But take a breath. The reality is that person doesn't exist. It's a front. Anybody who projects that is gilded. It's an illusion that they're projecting, because underneath it all, they're hiding something. They're hiding mountains of debt, or they're hiding the fact that they're only sleeping 2 hours a night, or something else is wrong with that. Because it's impossible to maintain that level of perfection for more than a day. And I've been thinking about this in terms of a couple of different ideas. And one of the things that, and I'm sure everybody's at least peripherally aware of the idea of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That's that pyramid that you probably saw in college or in some high school textbook, where at the very bottom, it's your base need, like your physiological needs, food, water, air, that kind of thing. And above it is, safety, the need to be safe and free from harm. all the way up to self-actualization at the very top, which is the realization of your talents and wants and the things that actually make you fulfilled in your life. And as a parent, that, if you're not careful, that triangle can fall to pieces. It'll look like Legos on the floor, because you'll be so focused on that triangle for your kid that you ignore your own. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. That is that there's kind of an order of needs that you have to keep in your brain if you want to actually stay sane, stay happy, and stay alive. If you want to reach the point of seeing your grandkids or even your great-grandkids, that if you don't take care of yourself and make sure that everything is good, you're never going to get there. So one of the things that I've seen and is stuck in my brain is a reordering of the needs and wants. Because as parents, our inclination is to put our children's needs before our own. And that sounds wonderful on paper. And you hear people say it all the time, my kids come first. Or in parents with split roles, you hear somebody say, well, my wife makes sure that everything the kids need is taken care of, or my husband does, or, yada, yada, yada. The kids come first. I'm sacrificing so the kids... And there's a fallacy there, because your kids can't be successful unless you are. And so what I propose, and I'm not even going to present like this is an original idea, but it's what I'm sharing with you, is this idea that when you think about your needs, your children's needs, and then you separate that from actual wants, what you want and what your children want, that's where the reordering comes. And I realize this is a little dry and possibly pedantic, but it's important. Your needs need to come before your kids' needs. Because if you're too hungry to focus, how are you going to make sure your kids are taken care of? If you're not sleeping, how are you going to make sure that they're doing their homework or that they're doing the things that they've got to do? Think about it when you get on an airplane, right? And there's that dull, 5-minute routine that the steward. I still haven't. It's funny. I still haven't stopped calling them stewardesses. In my head, I know that it's flight attendants. It's part of the weird language thing that for so much a portion of my life that it was stewardesses, and I still hear it come out of my mouth even though I know better. So apologies to any of you flight attendants out there. I mean no disrespect. I realize that you're not stewardesses. It's just a word that I can't seem to get out of my mush mouth. But when they give you, their spiel, they tell you that if something happens, you put the mask on yourself first. And the reason you do that, because it does you no good if you pass out while you're putting your kid's mask on, because you could kill you both. So the idea is that when you're taking care of these needs, you have to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. You need to be eating, you need to be sleeping, you need to be exercising. You need to be doing the things that keep you sane. Just because your kid has activities doesn't mean you have to give up your hobbies. That self-actualization is not a want. And I'm going to repeat that for the people in the back, because this is a lesson that I've learned the hard way. I went through a lot of years of, I don't know that they're mental health issues, but I will say that they're anger management issues that have actually done damage to my health in the form of blood pressure issues and stress-related issues, because I sacrificed the things that I enjoyed doing most for the things that my kids wanted to do. And now that I'm older and I have this kind of second round of parenting, I'm not making that mistake anymore. And it's making me, I'm a better person for it and a less stressed person. I draw, I play guitar, I do the things that my talents lend themselves to so that I have a release valve on life. And make no mistake about it, that's not a want. That's a need. So you need to set aside some time for yourself and take care of that need before you make sure that all of these things for your kids are taken care of. And I'm not saying go play the guitar before feeding your kid dinner. There's an order of priority there. But what I'm saying is that if your kid has 10 different activities that he desires to do and you have no time to do anything for yourself, that's a problem. They can do 8 things and still feel fulfilled in their life and be structured and have all of these opportunities while you take an hour and go to yoga, or you take 20 minutes and write in your journal, or you go for a walk, or hell, watch your favorite TV show, play a video game. I don't care what you do. Do origami in the bathroom by yourself listening to Yanni. I don't care. Do something for you. And when you're going through that, give yourself permission to do that. Don't feel guilty about it. Because that's the problem. The problem is you start to feel guilty about it, and then you let it drag off. And before you know it, you're a pressure cooker waiting to blow up. And I've seen it happen time and time again. It's happened to me. So make sure that you're taking care of those things that you need. Just believe me. Take care of your needs. Make sure you're fed. Make sure you're sleeping. And I'm repeating these things because I want them to sink in. I want you to sleeping. I want you eating. I want you to have hobbies. I want you to exercise. I want you to take care of yourself, because while being a parent is a lifetime commitment, you have to have a life after they're gone. And in order to do that, you have to maintain a life now. So I want to be clear on that. And I want people to understand that don't look at those people that you see with all of their shit together and think that that's real life. It's not. They're killing themselves, or they're buried in debt, and they're just hiding it. It's like every other magic trick. There's no such thing as a perfect parent. There's no such thing as not trading off with your kid, because there's finite time, there's finite money. You can only do so much. And if you try to do everything, and if you put everything that they want before what you want, or if you put everything that you decide they need before what you need, you're going to kill yourself. And I realize that's a cheery thought, but that's the reality of it. So keep that in your mind, and, take care of yourselves. I like you people. I don't know most of you, but I like you, and I'd like to see you be successful parents, and I like for you to raise successful kids who raise successful kids of their own. And in order to do that, you have to take care of yourselves, not just take care of your kids. Because if they see you run into the ground, guess what they're going to do? Think about how miserable you are in your life. Are you stressed out? Are you strung out? Are you an insomniac? Are you not eating? Are you, 400 pounds and wishing that you could run a mile? Well, your kid's going to be too, because that's what they're going to pick up from you. So they're going to be the kind of parent that you are. So be the kind of parent that you want them to be realistically. Think about all the good and bad that goes with it, and don't let it kill you. So With that, I'm going to sign off. And this has been another Earl's Corner. Be sure to check us out on all the social media. We are Talkin Dads everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You folks know how to use it all. Hit us up at talkindads@gmail.com. And don't forget to check out You Suggest It /Talkin Dads. Thanks.